Hello friends, welcome to Fairs Cloud Learn to Lead. Good morning to all the students. As you know, we already started the weekly current affairs like we covered December 1st week, December 2nd week, and today we will discuss the December 3rd week of current affairs. It means we will cover 17th to 24th of December 2022 current affair. So this video is very important and this is very important for every type of exam. So watch this video carefully and watch till last. But first of all, you have to download our application Careers Cloud from the Google Play Store. After that, log in with your email ID. Then click on this Crack Current Affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low. But the most important thing, what we are covering under this 1 year and the 2 year subscription, we are providing you daily section. In the daily section, you will receive 3 things. One is the detailed current affair. Second is the question and answer format of current affairs, but both will be provided in the form of PDF or in the form of ebook. And third is the quiz section, and this can be attempted only on our application on daily basis. Next is the weekly section. Again, we are providing 3 things. One is the detailed current affairs, second is the question and answer format, but both things will be provided in the PDF format, and third is the quiz section, which you can attempt on our application on weekly basis. Next is the monthly section, and in the monthly section we are providing you 4 type of PDFs. One is the detailed current affair PDF, which is known as study PDF. Next, all the detailed current affairs will be converted in the form of question and answer. That's why it is known as question and answer PDF, so that you can revise all the current affairs in the question and answer format. Next is the best 100 current affairs will be provided. That is also provided in the form of question and answer. And last is the pocket PDF. It means 1-liner, 2-liner, or the 3-liners current affair will be provided to you, so that you can revise these current affairs very quickly before your exam. Next is topic wise current affair. This is very important section because we are providing 20 most important topic wise PDF. If you want to revise 1 or 2 particular topics, then you can use this topic wise PDF. If you are a banking student, then we are providing 3 things. One is detail, second is question and answer format of current affairs, but only related to banking and economy, and third is the quiz section. It is also only related to banking and economy, and you can attempt this quiz section only on our application on monthly basis. Next is exam PDF. If you want to cover all the current affairs before your exam of particular year, then you can use this exam PDF. Next is special current affairs section. In the special current affair, we are providing you budget and economic survey. 2 things we are providing. One is detail, budget and economic survey. Second is question and answer format of budget and economic survey. It means you can recall that examiner can make these type of questions from budget and economic survey. If you are preparing for your respective state exam, then we are also providing state current affairs, and we are covering every state and union territory. So all these things comes under only one subscription. First of all, you have to just download our application Careers Cloud, then click on this Crack Current Affairs section, and you can subscribe for 1 year as well as for 2 years. And if you want 10% extra discount, then you can use this code ASH10. If you have any query, then you can email us on this email ID or you can call us on this number. So let's start the weekly quiz, and today we will cover the weekly current affairs of the 17th of December to 24th of December 2022. And here is the first question. Which company or institute recently signed a memorandum of understanding with the Cotton Textile Export Promotion Council regarding the branding, traceability and certification of Kasturi Cotton India? Just remember the keyword Kasturi Cotton India. And this organization is Cotton Corporation of India Limited. Very simple question. Answer of this question is second. So CCI or Cotton Corporation of India Limited signed a memorandum of understanding with the Cotton Textile Export Promotion Council on branding, traceability and certification of Kasturi Cotton India on the concluding day of the Kashi Tamil Sangamam in Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh, which was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And the MOU was signed in the presence of Piyush Goyal ji, who is the Union Minister of Textile, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution and Commerce and Industry. Moving to next question. What is the edition of India-Kazakhstan joint training exercise known as Kazind 2022? And it is initiated at Umroi Military Station in the Raipur district of the Meghalaya in December 2022. First of all, remember, this is a joint training exercise of India and Kazakhstan. Name of this exercise is Kazind. Kaz stands for Kazakhstan and IND stands for India. and it is hosted at the Meghalaya. So this is again very important, and this is the 6th edition of this exercise. Answer of this question is 1. So all the things are very important, that the 6th edition of India and Kazakhstan joint training exercise Kazin 2022 initiated at Umroi military station in the Meghalaya state, and this exercise culminated on 28th of December 2022, and from Indian Army soldiers 11 Gorkha Rifles participated under this exercise. Moving to next question. In December 2022, the Atal Innovation Mission of the Niti Aayog and the United Nations Development Programme India launched the Dash Youth Co Lab 2022-23 for the social entrepreneurs. So very simple question, just remember the question as same as in slide, and this is the 5th co-lab. So answer of this question is second. So this is Atal Innovation Mission of National Institution for Transforming India and United Nations Development Programme India launched the 5th edition of the Youth Co-Lab 2022-23 to support the young social entrepreneurs. And you can also remember Chintan Vaishnav. This name is very important. Chintan Vaishnav, who is the Atal Innovation Mission Director, and Dennis Curry, who is currently the United Nations Development Programme India Resident Representative, launched this application for the 5th edition. And this Youth Co-Lab was launched in the year of 2017 by the United Nations Development Programme and the City Foundation, and it is operational in 28 countries and territories in Asia and the Pacific, especially to promote the social entrepreneurs. Moving to next question. In December 2022, Employees State Insurance Corporation approved a proposal to invest up to dash of its surplus funds in the stock market via the exchange traded funds. Again, this question is important, and total amount is 15%. So answer of this question is second. So Employees State Insurance Corporation, which is also known as ASIC, which is a Government of India social security body, has approved a proposal to invest up to 15% of its surplus funds in the stock market via the exchange traded fund, and the decision was made at the 189th meeting of the ASIC, which was chaired by the Union Minister Bhupender Yadav ji, who is currently the Union Minister of Labour and Employment. And the investment will be confined to the exchange traded funds on the Nifty and Sensex and will be administered by the fund managers at the asset management companies. So just remember, total amount is 15%. Moving to next question. Name the organization that has recently teamed with the M1 Exchange as the financer to provide liquidity to the micro, small and medium enterprises at low interest rate. So it is just to provide credit to the micro, small and medium enterprises, and this organization is SIDBI, which is also known as Small Industries Development Bank of India. So answer of this question is 3. So SIDBI is the apex financial institution dedicated to the promotion, funding and development of the MSMEs. And M1 Exchange, India's leading trade receivable discounting system platform, provides MSMEs with early financing within 24 hours via its online bidding platform and an end-to-end digital process. So just remember, this SIDBI or the Small Industries Development Bank of India has teamed up with the M1 Exchange as the financer to provide liquidity to micro, small and medium enterprises at low interest rate. Moving to next question. In December 2022, Rafael Nadal from Dash country was named the Men's International Tennis Federation World Champion 2022 for the 5th time. I think all the students know this answer, that Rafael Nadal belongs to which country? Rafael Nadal belongs to Spain. While Dash player from the Poland was named Women's ITF World Champion 2022, and this player from Poland is Iga Swiatek. So answer of this question is 3, Spain and Iga Swiatek. So just remember, Rafael Nadal, Spanish tennis player, has been named as the Men's International Tennis Federation or ITF World Champion 2022 for the 5th time after an outstanding 2022 season. And Polish or the Poland tennis player Iga Swiatek has been named as the Women ITF World Champion 2022 for her performance in 2022, winning 2 Grand Slam titles and 8 titles. So you can just remember these two names, both are very important. Even you can remember one name, Barbara Krejcikova and Katerina Siniakova have been named as the ITF Women Doubles World Champion for the 2nd straight year and 3rd time overall, having won the title in the 2018 and 2021. So in the singles, in the men's category, Rafael Nadal. In the women's category in single, this is Iga Swiatek. And in the doubles category in the women's, this is Barbara and the Katrina. So both the names are very, very important. Moving to next question. In December 2022, Mette Frederiksen was re-elected as the Prime Minister of which country? So remember this name, mark this question in the very important section, Mette Frederiksen. So Mette Frederiksen, who is the head of the Social Democratic Party, was re-elected as the Prime Minister of Denmark for second term. So answer of this question is second. And Mette Frederiksen was elected as the Prime Minister of Denmark in June 2019 for first time and became the youngest Prime Minister in the Danish history. And she became the second woman to hold this office, followed by Helle Thorning. And who was the Prime Minister from 2011 to 2015. Moving to next question. Which state recently became the first state to launch its own climate change mission? First state to launch its own climate mission. And this state is Tamil Nadu. Answer of this question is 4. So Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin ji launched this Tamil Nadu Climate Change Mission at the Tamil Nadu Climate Summit of 2022 to protect the natural resources and restore them on a long-term basis. So Tamil Nadu is the first state to launch its own climate mission to make the climate smart state. And Tamil Nadu has introduced a single window system to provide clearances to green projects during the Tamil Nadu Climate Change Mission to attain a 1 trillion economy by the year of 2030. And the Tamil Nadu Climate Change Mission will coordinate initiatives such as the e-buses, climate smart villages and green monument project. Moving to next question. Henley as India's first dark sky reserve is located in which state or union territory? So this question is static. And remember, this is situated in Ladakh. So answer of this question is 1. So the administration of Union Territory of Ladakh has officially identified a 1073 square kilometer area in the Ladakh Henley as India's first dark sky reserve and will be known as Henley Dark Sky Reserve. And the Union Territory has embarked this area covering a cluster of 6 hamlets of the Henley Revenue Range. And these hamlets situated around the Indian Astronomical Observatory owned by Indian Institute of Astrophysics. Moving to next question. Who has been recently elected as the President of Institute of Cost Accountants of India for the year of 2022-23? And this personality is Vijender Sharma. So answer of this question is 1. So Institute of Cost Accountants of India, which is also known as ICAI, announced the Vijender Sharma has been elected as the new president, and Rakesh Balla, you can also see the third option, Rakesh Balla is elected as the vice president of this organization for the year of 2022-23. And the institute, which is a statutory body set up under the Act of Parliament, comes under the administrative control of the Union Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Moving to next question. The Dash edition of the Global Technology Summit was held in New Delhi from 29th of November to 1st of December 2022. And this is the 7th edition of Global Technology Summit. So answer of this question is 4th. And the summit is India's annual flagship event on the geotechnology and co-hosted by the Ministry of External Affairs and the Carnegie India. And you can also remember the theme of this year or this year's summit is Geopolitics of Technology. Geopolitics of Technology. This is the theme of this summit, Global Technology Summit. Remember, the place is New Delhi. Moving to next question. The Dash edition of the Indo-Nepal joint training exercise known as Surya Kiran between India and Nepal began at the Saljhandi in Nepal in December 2022. 4 things are very important. First, name of the exercise, Surya Kiran. Second, it is in between India and Nepal. Third, it is hosted at Nepal or exact place is Saljhandi. Fourth, the edition. This is the 16th edition of this exercise. Answer of this question is second. So 16th edition of Indo-Nepal joint training exercise Surya Kiran 16 between India and Nepal began at Saljhandi in Nepal in December 2022. Basically, this exercise concluded on 29th of December 2022. and Nepal Army soldiers of Shri Bhavani Baksh Battalion and Indian Army soldiers from the 5th Gorkha Rifles will participate in this exercise. And the exercise Surya Kiran has been conducted annually between India and Nepal since 2011. Moving to next question. Which organization has recently released a report with the key finding that South Asia needs urgent action to curb deadly air pollution? So just remember the question as same as in slide, and this organization is World Bank. Answer of this question is 3. So World Bank has released its report titled as Striving for Clean Air Pollution and Public Health in the South Asia, stating that South Asia is home to 9 of the world's 10 cities with the worst air pollution, and there is a requirement of urgent action to curb it. And it is causing an estimate of 2 million premature deaths across the region each year and incurs significant economic cost. And the concentration of the fine particle matter such as the soot and the small dust particles like particulate matter of 2.5 in some of the regions most densely populated and poor areas are up to 20 times higher than the WHO limit. So just remember, South Asia needs urgent action to curb this deadly air pollution, and this report is released by World Bank. Moving to next question. Which small finance bank has recently signed a memorandum of understanding with the Controller General of Defence Accounts under the Ministry of Defence under Government of India? And this is Equitas Small Finance Bank. So answer of this question is 4. So Equitas Small Finance Bank has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Controller General of Defence Accounts of the Ministry of Defence under the Government of India. With this, Equitas Small Finance Bank will be able to act as a SPARSH, known as SPARSH. SPARSH stands for System for Pension Administration, or also known as Raksha Service Center, and provide data verification for the pensioners. And Equitas is first small finance bank to be inducted into the SPARSH scheme by the Government of India. And remember, what is the meaning of SPARSH? It is a System for Pension Administration, Raksha. Moving to next question. Name the small finance bank that has recently entered into the bancassurance partnership with the HDFC Life Insurance Company Limited. So very simple question. This insurance company will sell their products to the bank branches, and this small finance bank is AU Small Finance Bank. Answer of this question is 1. So AU Small Finance Bank entered into a corporate agency agreement with the HDFC Life Insurance Company Limited, one of the India's leading life insurance, through the bancassurance business model. And under this partnership, customers of AU Small Finance Bank will be able to access the entire range of the life insurance products offered by HDFC Life, thus fulfilling their need for financial protection. In addition, it is also enables its customers to access the digital platform and the touch points of the HDFC Life for servicing. Moving to next question. Which of the following points is or are incorrect with respect to the 2022 Association of Tennis Professional Award? So let's find out the incorrect statement under this question. So here is the first statement. Carlos Alcaraz from Spain named as the youngest year-end ATP number 1 and most improved player of the year. This statement is true and very important statement. Next is Juan Carlos Ferrero of Spain, coach of the Carlos Alcaraz, received the ATP Coach of the Year at 2022 ATP Awards. This statement is also true. Next is Novak Djokovic from Serbia was chosen as the fans' favorite single in the ATP Awards for the second time. This is wrong. This player is Rafael Nadal. Rafael Nadal from Spain. Rafael Nadal from Spain was chosen as the fans' favorite single in the ATP Awards for the second time. So this statement is wrong. Andy Murray from the United Kingdom has been named as the recipient of the Arthur Ashe, the Humanitarian Award, for the second time. This statement is also true. So just remember, fans' favorite singles named as Rafael Nadal. Coach of the Year award goes to Juan Carlos Ferrero. Next, Carlos Alcaraz, the most improved player of the year and the ATP number 1 player of the year. And next, you can remember the very important Arthur Ashe Humanitarian Award. This goes to Andy Murray. So only statement which is incorrect is third. So answer of this question is 3. Moving to next question. In December 2022, United States France satellite SWOT was launched through the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket US to map all of the world's ocean, lakes and rivers. In SWOT, what is the meaning of T? So SWOT stands for surface, water, ocean and topography. So just remember T stands for topography. 1 is the answer. So United States France satellite, which is known as SWOT, aka Surface, Water and Ocean Topography, was launched from the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket from the California, United States of America, and it will map all of the world's ocean, lakes and the rivers. And $1.2 billion project is developed by NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, in collaboration with the French Space Agency, in partnership with the Canadian Space Agency CSA and the United Kingdom Space Agency. And the SWOT mission lifetime is 3 years. 3 years. Moving to next question. When was International Day to End Violence Against Sex Workers 2022 observed across the globe? Again, this question is very important. This is International Day to End Violence Against the Sex Workers 2022 and it was observed on 17th of December 2022. Answer of this question is 1, and it is to focus attention on the hate crimes committed against the sex workers across the globe. And the global observance of the International Day to End Violence Against Sex Workers is led by the NSWP. This is a global network of the sex work projects. And the first International Day to End Violence Against Sex Workers was observed on 17th of December in the year of 2003. Moving to next question. In December 2022, State Bank of India raised rupees 10,000 crore through its maiden infrastructure bond issuance at a coupon rate of 7.51%. What is the tenor of the bond? So very simple question and very important for the banking students. So State Bank of India raised almost 10,000 crore through its maiden infrastructure bond issuance at a coupon rate of 7.51%. The tenure of the bond is set to at 10 years. 10 years. So answer of this question is 4. And it is the largest single infra bond sale by any domestic lender. And the proceeds of the bond will be utilized to enhance long-term resources for funding infrastructure and affordable housing segment, State Bank of India. And the issuance was oversubscribed 3.27 times, or bids worth rupees 16,000 crore against the base issue from the 143 bids, demonstrating the confidence of the investor class. And the tenure is the period of the credit or the installments given to the debtor and must be paid to the lending company. Moving to next question. Name the company that has recently launched a group of friends to promote accountability for crimes against the UN peacekeepers or the United Nations peacekeepers. And these countries are lovable India. Answer of this question is 3. So India, the President of the United Nations Security Council or United Nations UNSC, has launched a group of friends to promote accountability for crimes against the peacekeepers. While addressing the launch event, Subramaniam Jaishankar, the Union Minister of External Affairs, announced the New Delhi will have a database that will record all crimes against the United Nations peacekeepers, which is also known as Blue Helmets. And the co-chairs of the group of friends are India, Bangladesh, Egypt, France, Morocco and Nepal. And the group of friends will convene 2 meetings per year, and they are organized by the representative of the permanent missions of the co-chairs along with all interested member of states and other United Nations partners. So just remember what is the meaning of group of friends and what is the meaning of accountability for crimes against the United Nations peacekeepers. Moving to next question. In December 2022, Indian origin Leo Varadkar was elected as the Prime Minister of Dash for the second time, and he is elected as the Prime Minister of Ireland. Answer of this question is 3. So Indian origin Leo Varadkar, the Irish Deputy Prime Minister and the leader of the Fine Gael Party, has been elected as the Prime Minister of Ireland for the second time in the December 2022. So Leo Varadkar takes over from Michael Martin. Michael Martin basically elected as the Deputy Prime Minister. Earlier he was Prime Minister, but now elected as the Deputy Prime Minister, and who was Deputy Prime Minister now elected as the Prime Minister. So Leo Varadkar was appointed as the new Prime Minister by the Irish President Michael D. Higgins. Michael D. Higgins. Moving to next question. Name the Indian naval ship, the second of the Project 15B of the stealth guided missile destroyers that was commissioned at the Naval Dockyard, Mumbai, Maharashtra in December 2022. So mark this question in the very important section, and this is the second of the Project 15B of the stealth guided missile destroyers, and this is named as INS Marmegao. Answer of this question is second. So INS Marmegao, which is also known as D-67, the second of the 4 Vishakhapatnam class destroyers, also known as the Project 15B class of the stealth guided missile destroyers, was commissioned at the Naval Dockyard in Mumbai, Maharashtra. And the naval ensign was hoisted on board for the first time at the commissioning ceremony, which was held in the presence of the Union Minister Rajnath Singh Ji under the Ministry of Defence. And INS Marmegao is named after Marmegao, which is a historic port city of the Goa on the west coast. And it was built by Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, which is a Mumbai-based company, and was indigenously designed by the Warship Design Bureau, an in-house organization of the Indian Navy. And it is 163 meter long, 17 meter wide, and can carry 7,400 tons and has a crew of roughly 300 personnel. So just remember this Indian naval ship named as INS Marmegao, who is the second of the Project 15B of the stealth guided missile destroyer. Moving to next question. Which of the following points is or are incorrect with respect to the FIFA's Men's World Cup 2022 held in Qatar in December 2022? So this question is most important question. Mark this under the most important section, and we have to find out the incorrect statement. So let's find out. First statement is Argentina won the 23rd FIFA's Men's World Cup 2022. This statement is wrong because this is 22nd FIFA Men's World Cup, which was won by Argentina, and Argentina defeated France. This is true, and grabbed their 5th title. No, this is wrong. This is the 3rd overall title because this marks the Argentina's first World Cup since 1986 and 3rd overall title. So first statement is wrong statement. Argentina's captain and the 7-time Ballon d'Or winner Lionel Messi was named as the tournament best player, winning the Golden Ball. And Lionel Messi has become the first man in the history to win the Adidas Golden Ball twice at the FIFA World Cup. So this statement is true. Now is all is the slogan of FIFA 2022. Mark this statement in the most important area. Now is all in the slogan of the FIFA 2022, and Laib was the official mascot of the FIFA 2022. This statement is also true. And the next FIFA World Cup will be held in 2026, and it will be the first edition to feature 48 teams and to be held across 3 countries. One is Canada, second is Mexico, and third one is United States of America. So it means only incorrect statement is 1. So answer of this question is only A. Moving to next question. In December 2022, Indian women's hockey team won the first edition of the International Hockey Federation Women National Cup 2022 by defeating which country? So again, mark this question in the very important section, and this country is Spain. So answer of this question is 1. So Indian women hockey team won the first edition of the International Hockey Federation Women's National Cup of 2022 by defeating Spain in the final by 1-0 held in the Spain and claimed the gold medal. And the Federation International the Hockey Women's National Cup 2022 was held from 11th to 17th of December in Spain. And Spain is in the 2nd position, followed by Japan, and Ireland in the 3rd and the 4th position. It means 3rd position goes to Japan and 4th position goes to Ireland. And you can also remember one name, Savita Punia. Savita Punia from India won the Best Goalkeeper Award by the International Hockey Federation Women Nations Cup 2022. Mark this question in the very important section and move into the next question. The United Nations International Migrants Day 2022 was observed across the globe on Dash Day. Again, mark under the very important section. This is International Migrants Day, and it was observed on 18th of December 2022. So answer of this question is 3. And remember, World Migration Report 2022 is the 11th in the World Migration Report series, with the key finding that with nearly 18 million people living abroad, India has the largest immigrant population in the world, making it the top origin country globally, followed by Mexico. And USA has been the top remittance sending country with a total outflow of $68 billion in 2020, followed by the United Arab Emirates. And in July 2022, World Health Organization launched this World Report on the Health of Refugees and the Migrants, a first of its kind, its report to offer a global review of the refugees and migrant health. Moving to next question. In which state India's first and world's second Infantry Research Center and Museum was inaugurated in December 2022? This question is very important, mark under the very important section. This is India's first and world's second Infantry Research Center and Museum, and it was recently inaugurated in Madhya Pradesh, exact place is Indore district. So, the eve of 75 years of the raising of the infantry school and to commemorate the Vijay Divas, India's first and the world's second Infantry Research Center and Museum was inaugurated in Maho Cantonment in the Indore district of the Madhya Pradesh, and the museum was thrown open to the public on 17th of December 2022, and the world class museum has been set up under the aegis of the infantry school Maho, and the museum aims to showcase the infantry with the theme line Infantry the Ultimate. And the National Infantry Museum and the Soldier Center, Maneuver Center of the Excellence at the Fort Benning in the Columbus, Georgia, United States of America is the world's first National Infantry Museum. So, world's first National Infantry Museum is situated in Columbus, Georgia in the United States of America, and second is in Madhya Pradesh. Moving to next question. Which of the following points are correct? Correct with respect to the 48th GST Council meeting of 2022 that was chaired by Union Minister Nirmala Sitharamanji in December 2022. So, let's find out which statement is correct. First one is, the Council has clarified the applicability of a 22% cess on the sport utility vehicles or the SUVs provided 4 requirements are fulfilled. This statement is true. So, first statement is true. The GST on the pulse husk has been decreased from 12% to nil on ethanol alcohol supplied to the refineries for blending with motor spirit was also decreased from 28% to 18%. This statement is basically wrong because the GST on the pulse husk has been decreased from 5% to nil, not 12%, 5% to nil, and on ethyl alcohol supplied to the refineries for blending with motor spirit or the petrol was decreased from 18% to 5%. 18% to 5%. So, this statement is wrong. In accordance with the section of 132 of the Central Goods and Service Tax GST Act of 2017, the GST Council suggested decriminalizing a number of offences in order to measure the facilitation of the trade. This statement is also true. So, it means both A and C statement are correct. So, answer of this question is only A and C. Moving to next question. Which of the following points are incorrect? Incorrect with respect to the United Nations Biodiversity Conference in December 2022. So, let's find out which statement is incorrect. The United Nations Biodiversity Conference was held in Kunming in the Yunnan province of the China to acknowledge a new set of goals to guide global action through the 2027. This statement is very much wrong because from December 7 to 19, 2022, the United Nations Biodiversity Conference was held in Montreal. And Montreal is stated in Quebec in Canada to acknowledge a new set of goals to guide global action through 2030, not 2027, in order to prevent nature loss. So, second statement is, the conference saw the adoption of the global biodiversity framework that addresses the key drivers of nature loss and promotes health and the well-being of the mankind and the planet. This statement is true. Next is, India made an urge to create a new and dedicated fund to help developing countries successfully implement a post-2020, this is the GBF for Global Biodiversity Framework to stop biodiversity loss. This statement is also true. The United Nations has recognized India's Ganges project among 10 initiatives from the globe that restore the nature world. This is very proud moment, and this statement is also true. So all the statements are correct, only first statement is incorrect, and this is very important statement. So answer of this question is 1. Moving to next question. What is India's rank in 2020 as per the Science and Engineering Indicators 2022 report, which is released by National Science Foundation of the United States in December 2022? So mark this question in the very important section, and India's rank is 3rd. Answer of this question is 4. So India has improved its position in the global ranking of the scientific publication from 7th in the year of 2010, now 3rd in the year of 2020, according to the Science and Engineering Indicator of 2022, and this report is released by National Science Foundation of the United States of America. And the amount of scholarly output produced in India has increased, going from 60,555 papers in the year of 2010. Now it is 1,49,213 papers in the year of 2020. And India is currently 3rd in the world for the number of PhD doctors of philosophy in the science and engineering. And the National Science Foundation of the United States of America is an independent US government agency that supports fundamental research and education in all the non-medical fields of science and engineering. Moving to next question. Which of the following countries has become the first African nations to sign the Artemis Accord during the first US-Africa Space Forum in December 2022? Mark this question in the very important section, and these two countries are Rwanda and Nigeria. Answer of this question is both 1 and 2. So Nigeria and Rwanda became the first African nations to sign the Artemis Accord during the first ever US-Africa Space Forum, which was held on 13th of December 2022 on the sideline of the US-Africa Leader Summit in Washington DC in United States of America. So Nigeria is 22nd and Rwanda is 23rd signatory of the Artemis Accord. And this Artemis Accords are the broad non-binding framework that was launched jointly by the NASA and the United States Department along with the 8 other nations in the year of 2020. Now total signatories are 23, but India is not part of this signatory member countries. Moving to next question. In December 2022, Nitin Gadkari, the Union Minister for Road and Transport and Highways, launched India's first ever surety bond insurance product from Dash for infrastructure projects. So again, this question is important, and this company is Bajaj Allianz General Insurance. Answer of this question is 1. So Union Minister for Road, Transport and Highways, Nitin Gadkari ji, launched India's first ever surety bond insurance product from Bajaj Allianz General Insurance Company to reduce the dependence of infrastructure developers on the bank guarantees. And the product was introduced in response to the demand identified by the infrastructure sector and the Government of India, and it shall be used as a substitute to the bank guarantee. And surety bond insurance is a risk transfer tool for the principal and the shield them from losses that may arise when the contractor fails to perform their contractual obligations. So just remember the question as same as in slide. Moving to next question. Who was recently appointed as the chairperson of the Atomic Energy Regulatory Board for the period of 3 years? Static question, important question, and this personality is Dinesh Kumar Shukla. Answer of this question is 3. So the appointment committee of the cabinet has approved the appointment of senior nuclear scientist Dinesh Kumar Shukla ji to the post of chairperson of the Atomic Energy Regulatory Board, and he has been appointed for the time period of 3 years. And the appointment order has been issued by the Department of Personnel Training under the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and the Pensions. Moving to next question. Rise, Roar, Revolt, RRR, directed by whom, has recently featured in the global list of top 50 films of the 2022 curated by Side and Sound magazine. And this movie is directed by S.S. Rajamouli. Answer of this question is 4. Static question, important question. So RRR seems to be on an unstoppable run in the international award season. So S.S. Rajamouli magnum opus has now secured a place in the global list of the top 50 films of this year. and Triple R was placed on the 9th spot. Moving to next question. In December 2022, Ashutosh Manke was named as Swachhata Ambassador for the Katni district. And this Katni district is situated in which state? This is situated in Madhya Pradesh. So answer of this question is second. So remember, Ashutosh Manke, who is 13-year-old boy in Madhya Pradesh, has been named Swachhata Ambassador for the Katni district after the collector was impressed by his letter. Ashutosh Manke, student of the 9th standard at the CM Rice Model School, sent a postcard on the cleanliness, giving his suggestions for the maintenance of garbage carts and the general cleanliness. That's why he was named as the Swachhata Ambassador for the Katni district of the Madhya Pradesh. Moving to next question. Which of the following points are incorrect? Incorrect with respect to the 2022 Social Progress Index released in the December 2022. So this question is very important, mark under the very important section, and here is the first statement. The annual 2022 Social Progress Index, which was published by the Social Progress Imperative, in which India secured a 110th rank globally with a score of 60.19 in the Tier 4 countries. This statement is true. The index is topped by Norway with a score of 90.74 in the Tier 1 countries, which are high income countries, followed by the Denmark. This statement is also true. Jammu and Kashmir got the highest social progress index score of the 65.99 in the Tier 1, which is a very high social progress score. And this statement is wrong basically, because this is not Jammu and Kashmir, this is Puducherry. This is Puducherry who got the highest SPA score of 65.99 in the Tier 1 very high social progress due to its remarkable performance across components like personal freedom, choice, shelter, water and sanitation and others. So third statement is wrong. So both statement A and B are correct, but we have to find out the incorrect statement. So answer of this question is C. Answer of this question is 3. Moving to next question. According to the data of Archaeological Survey of India, which of the following cultural site in India has been added to the provisional list of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites in December 2022? This is just a temporary list, or you can say this is just a provisional list. And the sites which are added, one is Vadnagar, which is a multi-layered historic town of the Gujarat, and third one is Sun Temple, Gujarat. So both the answers are correct. So answer of this question is only 2 and 3. So according to the Archaeological Survey of India, 3 new cultural sites in India have been added to the provisional list of the United Nations Educational and Scientific and Cultural Organization World Heritage Site, and they are like Sun Temple of Gujarat, third statement, Vadnagar, which is a multi-layered historic town of Gujarat, which is also the birthplace of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the rock-cut sculptures and the relief of the Unakoti in the Unakoti range in the Unakoti district, but it is not in Telangana, it is in Tripura. So otherwise all the statements can be corrected, but this statement is wrong. So second and third statement is correct, but remember 3 sites were added in the provisional list of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. One is the rock-cut sculptures and the relief of the Unakoti in Tripura. Vadnagar, a multi-layered historic town of Gujarat, which is also the birthplace of Narendra Modi. Third one is Sun Temple of the Gujarat, not Sun Temple of the Odisha. This is Sun Temple of Modhera district of the Gujarat and its adjoining monuments. So the UNESCO tentative list is an inventory of those properties which each state party intends to consider for nomination, and it highlights India's immense natural and the cultural heritage diversity. With addition of this, India currently has 52 sites on the UNESCO tentative list. Moving to next question. According to the UI Green Metric World University Ranking 2022, released by the Universitas Indonesia or the UI in December 2022, Dash ranked number 1 in India and 121st worldwide for being the most sustainable university. And this is Manipal Academy of Higher Education in Karnataka. Answer of this question is 1. So according to UI Green Metric World University Ranking of 2022, which is released by the UI or the Universitas Indonesia on 12th of December 2022, the Manipal Academy of Higher Education in Manipal town of the Karnataka is ranked number 1 in India and 121st worldwide for being the most sustainable university. And you can also remember this university is followed by the Mangalore University, which is also situated in Karnataka, and the SRM University, which is situated in Tamil Nadu. It means the Mangalore University ranked on the 2nd position from India and SRM University of Tamil Nadu ranked on the 3rd position from India. But the University of Netherlands, which is also known as University and Research Center of the Netherlands, top the list, followed by the United Kingdom Nottingham Trent University and University of Nottingham on the 2nd and the 3rd place. So remember, Nottingham Trent University and University of Nottingham on the 2nd and 3rd place, but the first rank goes to Netherlands University of Research. Moving to next question. Which of the following points are correct with respect to the 7th edition of Digital India Awards 2022 as of December 2022? Let's find out which statement is correct. First is, the Smart Cities mission of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has won the Platinum Icon Award in the DIA 2022 under the Data Sharing and Use for the Social Economic Development category. So this statement is true. Next is, National Agriculture Market or the ENAM won the Platinum Icon Award in the Digital India Awards 2022 under the Digital Empowerment of the Citizen category. This statement is also true. Next statement is, E-Vivechana app of the Madhya Pradesh won the Platinum Icon Award in the Digital India Awards 2022 under the Digital Initiative at the Grassroots level category. This statement is also true. All the statements are correct, but all the statements are very important. So mark this question in the very important section. So answer of this question is all A, B, C. Moving to next question. Who was recently appointed as the brand ambassador of Puma India? Brand ambassador of Puma India, and this is Anushka Sharma. Answer of this question is second. So sports brand Puma India announced the Bollywood actress and entrepreneur Anushka Sharma as its new brand ambassador as part of its ongoing commitment towards the women business in India. And Anushka Sharma will participate in a variety of brand campaigns and activities to promote the brand's footwear, clothes and accessories, including a few collections throughout the year. And Anushka Sharma is well-known brand ambassador for several companies such as TVS Scooty, Nivea, LA18 Cosmetics, Brew Coffee, Pantene and others. Moving to next question. Name the 5th Scorpion class conventional submarine of the Project 75 that was recently delivered to the Indian Navy by the Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited in Mumbai, Maharashtra. And this 5th Scorpion class conventional submarine of Project 75 named as Vajir. Answer of this question is 3. So 5th Scorpion class conventional submarine Vajir, which is also known as S-25 of Project 75 or Calvary class submarine Yard 11879 was delivered to the Indian Navy by the Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited in Mumbai, Maharashtra, and it will be commissioned into the Indian Navy in Jan 2023 as Indian Naval Ship Vazir, a fully combat worthy submarine capable of operation in all the modes and deployment regime. Mark this question in the very important section. Moving to next question. Name the Indian naval ship which is the first anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft launched by the Indian Navy in December 2022. Again, this question is very important, and name of this Indian naval ship is INS Arnala. Answer of this question is 4. So Indian naval ship or the Indian Navy launched the INS Arnala, the first of the 8 indigenously built anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft, which is also known as Yard 3029 at shipbuilding facility of the Larsen & Toubro or L&T Kattupalli in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. And it is built by Garden Reach Shipbuilders Limited and Engineerings in Calcutta, West Bengal. And the ship name Arnala honors the strategic maritime significance that Maratha warrior King Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj bestowed on the island of Arnala, which is situated about 13 km north of the Vasai in Maharashtra. and the Arnala class of ship will replace the Indian Navy Abe class of the ASW ships, or you can say anti-submarine warfare ships. Move into next question. In December 2022, Dash was recognized with A score for leadership in the corporate transparency and performance on climate change by the Global Environment Non-Profit CDP. And this is static question, and this company is Infosys. So answer of this question is 1. So Infosys has been recognized for the leadership in the corporate transparency and performance on the climate change by the Global Environment Non-Profit CDP organization, securing a place on its annual A list. Based on the data reported through the CDP's 2022 climate change questionnaire, Infosys is one of a small number of the companies that achieved an A out of nearly 15,000 companies scored. And CDP annual environmental disclosure and scoring process is widely recognized as the global standard and the gold standard of the corporate environment. Moving to the next question. Name the company that has recently launched ZIXI, ZIXI, India's first gas price index. Mark this question in the very important section. This is India's first gas price index, and this is Indian Gas Exchange. So answer of this question is second. So Indian Gas Exchange, which is also known as IGX, launched this ZIXI, the first ever nationwide price index to reflect benchmark natural gas prices for India. And this launch is in the lines with the international benchmarks such as the Japan Korea Marker, HN, or the Henry Hub, or WIM, which is West India Marker, or TTF, which is a Dutch marker. So it was launched by the Tarun Kapoor, who is former Petroleum Secretary and advisor to the Prime Minister of India during an event in the New Delhi. And at IGX, or Indian Gas Exchange, over 447 lakh 1.1 billion cubic meters of gas has been traded since inception. So just remember the question as same as in slide, but mark in the very important section. This is India's first gas price index known as ZIXI, and it is launched by Indian Gas Exchange. Moving to next question. Name the organization that has recently introduced Bima Bahaks in each Gram Panchayat to strengthen the insurance force in India. Mark this question in the very important section, and this organization is one and only Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India. Answer of this question is 4. So Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, which is a regulatory body of the all insurance companies, will soon introduce Bima Bahaks in each Gram Panchayat in order to strengthen the insurance force in India. And Rakesh Joshi, you can remember this name, Rakesh Joshi, an IRDA member, made the announcement during the Business Standard Insight Summit of 2022, which was hosted in Mumbai, Maharashtra. So what is a Bima Bahak? A Bima Bahak will be assigned to each Gram Panchayat to sell and service the Bima Vistar line of the basic parametric bundled insurance policy, which provide protection against the health, property, life and the personal accident. So very important, it is just to increase the insurance penetration in India. Moving to next question. Name the digital payment company that has recently received in principle authorization from the Reserve Bank of India to act as the payment aggregator. Very important question for the banking students, and this company is Worldline ePayments India. Answer of this question is 4. So Worldline ePayments India, a leader in the digital payments, has received in principle authorization from the Reserve Bank of India to act as the payment aggregator under the provision of the guidelines on the regulations of payment aggregators and payment gateway dated on 17th of March 2020. And Worldline ePayments India received this communication from the Reserve Bank of India on 20th of December 2022. Just remember the question as same as in slide, but very important for the banking students. Next question is, name the company that has recently signed an MOU with the Cognizant for advanced digital tools. And this company is Garuda Aerospace. Answer of this question is 4. So Cognizant Technology Solution, which is also known as Cognizant of the United States of America. It is information technology based service provider company, signed a memorandum of understanding with the Chennai based Garuda Aerospace, a homegrown drone startup company, to power its drone with advanced digital tools. It means the technology will be provided by Cognizant. And the Cognizant and the Garuda Aerospace will work together to deliver a wide range of drone-based management and monitoring services for the companies across all sectors. And it is just to improve the drone technology. Moving to next question. When was National Mathematics Day? Very important question. National Mathematics Day 2022 observed across India, and it was observed on 22nd of December 2022. Answer of this question is 4. And it was celebrated to mark the birth anniversary of renowned Indian mathematician S. Ramanujan. You can remember this name, who was born on 22nd of December 1887 in Madras Presidency of the British India. Now it is Tamil Nadu. And 22nd of December 2022 marks the 135th birth anniversary of Srinivasa Ramanujan. The first ever National Mathematics Day was observed in the year of 2012. And Sastar Ramanujan Prize, this is again very important. Sastar Ramanujan Prize 2022 was awarded to Yun Kuing Tang, the assistant professor of the University of California in Berkeley in the United States of America, for her works in the arithmetic and geometry of the modular curves and the Shimura varieties. So just remember, this is Sastar Ramanujan Prize. And an American biographer and the science writer Robert Kanigal, you can remember the name Robert Kanigal. Robert Kanigal authored Srinivasa Ramanujan biography named as The Man Knew Infinity. The Man Knew Infinity, a life of the genius Ramanujan, and it was published in 1991. This book is very, very important. R. Kanigal. Moving to next question. Which state has recently inaugurated the partial commissioning of the Japan International Cooperation Agency assisted Guwahati water supply project? Again, this question is important, and this state is Assam. Answer of this question is 4. So, Chief Minister of Assam, Himant Biswa Sharma ji, inaugurated the partial commissioning of the Japan International Cooperation Agency assisted Guwahati water supply project at an event held on the premises of its water treatment plant in the Guwahati area of the Assam. And the project, which was launched in the year of 2009, is scheduled to be ready for full commissioning by the March 2024. And the project has the capacity to provide 1.25 lakh families in the parts of Guwahati with a 24 hours water supply. Moving to next question. Every year, the United Nations International Day for the Prevention and the Preservation of Ozone Layer is observed on. This is International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer, and it is observed on the 16th of September. This is just static question just to check the knowledge. And 16th September 2022 marks the 35th anniversary of the Montreal Protocol. So the government of the 46 countries across the globe signed the Montreal Protocol on the substances that deplete the ozone layer, or Montreal Protocol, on 16th of September in 1987. Moving to next question. In December 2022, the Defence Acquisition Council, or the DAC, approved the acceptance of necessity for 24 capital acquisition proposal worth rupees. This is 84328 crores. So it means almost 84,000 crore. Static question. Just remember, as same as in slide. So Defence Acquisition Council approved the acceptance of necessity for 24 capital acquisition proposal worth rupees almost 84,000 crore during the DAC meeting chaired by the Rajnath Singh ji, who is the Union Minister of Defence. The proposal include 6 for the Indian Army, 6 for the Indian Air Force, 10 for the Indian Navy, 2 for the Indian Coast Guard. And out of the 24 proposals, 21 proposals worth rupees 82,000 crore almost will be procured from indigenous sources. Moving to next question. Sania Mirza is set to become India's first Muslim female fighter pilot in the Indian Air Force and first Indian Air Force pilot. So I'm not talking about tennis player Sania Mirza. I am talking about a student from Mirzapur, Uttar Pradesh, Sania Mirza, who cleared the National Defence Academy or NDA exam and secured 149th rank, and she is set to become India's first Muslim female fighter pilot in the Indian Air Force and UP's first Indian Air Force pilot. So answer of this question is 1. So on 27th of December 2022, she will join NDA in Pune, Maharashtra. In 2016, Indian Air Force commissioned 3 women as the fighter pilots. One is Avni Chaturvedi, second one is Bhavna Kant, third one is Mohana Singh, created history by becoming the first female combat pilots in the Indian Air Force. And the first female Rafale fighter pilot in the flight lieutenant category is Shivangi Singh, and she was commissioned in the year of 2017. But first Muslim female fighter pilot is Sania Mirza from Uttar Pradesh. Moving to next question. Name the company that has recently collaborated with the Apollo hospitals to conduct India's first 5G driven artificial intelligence guided colonoscopy trials. And this company is Bharti Airtel. So answer of this question is 4. So Bharti Airtel and Apollo Hospitals has collaborated with technology companies HealthNet Global, Amazon Web Services and Avesha to perform India's first 5G driven artificial intelligence guided colonoscopy trials. And the trial was carried out with artificial intelligence on the Airtel's 5G technology, which has ultra low latency and high processing capabilities, resulting in the detection of colon cancer much faster and with greater accuracy. And colon cancer is currently detected through a colonoscopy procedure that is manual, requiring close attention for precision and is time consuming. Moving to next question. The High Ambition Coalition for Nature and People has announced the establishment of a new permanent secretariat which will be co-hosted by the World Resource Institute and the Global Environment Facility. For first line is very important, read this line. Next is HAC or High Ambition Coalition will lead a historic endeavor to protect and conserve at least 30% of the world's land and ocean by the year of 2030 under the new secretariat. So answer of this question is 1. And this HAC High Ambition Coalition will lead a historic endeavor to protect and conserve at least 30% of the world land and oceans by 2030. This is also known as 30 into 30. Because 30% by the year of 2030 under the new secretariat. Currently about 17% of all land and a little over 8% of the ocean are covered by protected areas and other effective area based conservation measures. Moving to next question. Which organization has recently received in principle approval from the SEBI or the Securities Exchange Board of India to set up social stock exchange as a separate segment? So mark this question in the very important section, and this is National Stock Exchange of India. Answer of this question is 2. Mumbai, Maharashtra based NSE or National Stock Exchange has received in principle approval from the Securities and Exchange Board of India to set up social stock exchange as a separate segment of the NSE. So SSE or Special Separate Stock Exchange or the Social Stock Exchange was proposed in the Union Budget in the 2019-20 to create a platform for listing social enterprises and voluntary organizations and to enable fundraising through the Social Stock Exchange for net profit organization or NPOs. The government introduced zero coupon, zero principal under the Securities Contract Regulation Act of 1956. Currently, the minimum issue size is rupees 1 crore and the minimum application size of the subscription is 2 lakh rupees. Moving to next question. Which of the following points are correct with respect to the Sahitya Academy Awards 2022 as of December 2022? So Sahitya Academy announced the winners of the Sahitya Academy Awards of 2022, the annual award that recognizes literary work in the 24 Indian languages including English. So we are not here with the 24 winners, but we have 3 options. Let's find out which statement is correct. First is Rashmi Chaudhary for Bodo poetry called Sansrini Modira. So this statement is correct because in the Bodo language, Sansrini Modira, the title of the poetry, and this was authored by Rashmi Chaudhary. So this statement is correct. Next is Anuradha Roy for an English novel called All the Lives We Never Lived, and M. Rajendran also won the award for a Tamil novel known as Kala Pani. This statement is also correct. Next is Manoj Kumar Goswami for Assamese short stories called Bhool Satya. This statement is also correct. So all the statements are correct. So it means answer of this question is all A, B, C. Moving to next question. Who has been appointed as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the SBI Funds Management Limited in December 2022? And this personality is Shamsher Singh. Static question. Remember the question as same as in slide. And SBI Funds Management Limited, which is a joint venture of SBI and Amundi. Amundi is basically a Europe's largest asset manager. Appointed Shamsher Singh as its Managing Director and CEO. He will take over the charge as the MD and CEO from the Vinay M. Tonse. Vinay M. Tonse. Previously, he was serving as the Deputy Managing Director of the SBI. Moving to next question. Name the Indian weightlifter who has recently won the silver medal. Silver medal, not the gold medal. Gold medal was won by China's player under the 49 kg women category at the 2022 International Weightlifting Federation World Championships, which was held in Bogota, Colombia. First of all, remember the hosting country. This is Colombia in Bogota, and this was the 49 kg women category. And the silver medal was won by Saikom Mirabai Channu. Answer of this question is second. And the silver medal was won by Indian player. Gold medal was won by China player. And bronze medal also won by China's player. So here important is silver medal. Moving to next question. When was Kisan Divas or the National Farmers Day 2022 observed across India? National Farmers Day. And this was observed on 23rd of December. Answer of this question is 1. And it is to recognize and honor the major role of farmers in the growth and development of India. And this day also marks the birth anniversary of Chaudhary Charan Singh, a farmers leader who became the India's 5th Prime Minister from 1979 to 80. National Farmers Day 2022 also marks the 120th anniversary of the Chaudhary Charan Singh. And the first Kisan Divas or National Farmers Day was observed in the year of 2001. And Chaudhary Charan Singh introduced the Agriculture Produce Marketing Bill to the Assembly in 1938 and it was approved in 1964, improving the farmers' access to the market. Moving to next question. Who is the current Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of Tata Power Company Limited? Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of Tata Power Company. And this is Praveer Sinha. Answer of this question is 4. So remember, Tata Power is the largest integrated power company in India and CEO and Managing Director is Dr. Praveer Sinha and its headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Static question, remember from the slide. Next is World Table Tennis Star Contender will be held at Dash Place in 2023. Again, important question but simple question. This will be hosted by Goa. Answer of this question is 3. So World Table Tennis Star Contender will be held from 27th of February to 5th of March 2023 at the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Indoor Stadium in Panaji in Goa. And this is the first time a World Table Tennis Series event consisting of single, doubles and mixed doubles will be held in India. And the Stupa Analytics, a homegrown sports analytics firm, will be the tournament host with active support from the government of Goa. So this is all for today. I think you like this video. Please like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching this video. And you can join our all platform like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn and Telegram channel. Telegram channel link is given in the description box. Thank you guys again for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe our channel. Take care. Bye-bye.